Hi, I'm Colin Shields, and I'm here on behalf of the One Hit Wonders to introduce you to our big idea for Boise State. It's a program that we would call Bronco Immersion. In this program, all incoming students would be part of a transitional immersion where they were invited to social gatherings and meetings with students, faculty, and advisors from the area of study that they are choosing to major in. For example, all incoming students who declared a psychology major would attend on-campus events where psychology faculty and students would mingle and build a community within their discipline. No student would walk away from that experience without understanding who their advisors were, what resources the university has to help them succeed, and each student would have a face to put to a name for all the professors that they're going to be working with now and in the future. With this program, there would be events for every college during every semester, and smaller gatherings throughout the year to get everyone engaged in that community. These meetings could have advisors sitting in ready to answer questions while professors are in the room to bounce ideas off of one another for the best options for each student. Some of these meetings could also be purely social in nature, like a bowling night or a student clubs night where you're introduced to on-campus clubs that relate to your major. Our goal with this program would be to create a great sense of inclusion and comfort throughout the university. This would allow students to know exactly where they needed to go for any question they may have. And when a student feels comfortable, the idea is that they're more likely to succeed. We think this would help with the retention rate for Boise State students, getting them all the way to graduation.
George Leaf, the Director of Editorial Content for the James G. Martin Center for Academic Renewal, states that most colleges and universities promise a transformative education, but struggle to actually provide it. He goes on to talk about how evidence supports that students are not gaining the basic skills and knowledge they need to succeed in the world. This is very troubling information. But if we could implement our big idea of Bronco Immersion, Boise State could start a wave of change. Bronco Immersion could connect students with faculty and advisors, giving those students a personal connection with someone on campus. This faculty member or advisor would be there to guide students through those basic skills and knowledge that so many are lacking. Bronco Immersion has the potential to create that transformative education as well.
The article that I found that relates to our big idea of the sense of belonging and community is called Creative Cognitive Processes in Higher Education by Angie Miller and Amber Dumford. And this article really touches on cognitive processes best for learning. And they're all about reasoning, evaluating, remembering, learning, and judging. That's all a part of like cognitive processes. And everyone is different. So our biggest thing for our big idea is there being different groups that people can relate to because everyone's going to be different. So there can't just be one group and then everyone's going to feel like they belong. There's different interests and different likes, so people want to really find their place with who they fit with. And we just really think that there should be a great community and everyone should feel like they're welcomed. And that's what this article is all about, just like understanding that everyone's different and that finding your place is very important in an education. Because if you don't feel like you belong, then you're going to feel like nothing else really matters.
When coming up with our big idea for Bronco Immersion, we decided to look at some real-life examples to see how it might play out here in real life at Boise State. One of these examples comes from the University of Nevada, Reno, called Nevada Fit. Nevada Fit stands for Freshman Intensive Training, and it is a rigorous course for all incoming freshmen to experience what college life is on that campus. This program helps design to incorporate real-life situations such as exams, homework, and tedious study skills in their respective colleges that they applied to. It also increases networking opportunities with fellow students, professors, and faculty, and provides a smoother transition into college life and helps establish a base for future success. We see this as a necessary component with our big idea project with Bronco Immersion. By helping a smoother transition for UNR students, we can help establish a smoother transition for our BSU students as well.
For the next part of the presentation, my name is Katie Long, and I will be discussing the significance of the article, The Challenges, Persistence, and Success of White Working-Class First-Generation College Students by Susan Lightways. In this article, it describes the challenges facing students who are the first in their families to go to college and how they bring a different perspective that may not be thought of by other students due to their unique experience. This connects to our project, Bronco Immersion, because our program provides a support system for students who may not receive that support from their families back home. It also better connects the students with their professors, which can raise their grades by making them feel like they are a part of something. Most students who are the first in their family to go to college will benefit from this program because they will gain connections that they may not have had without the program.
Ken Robinson is a professor emeritus at the University of Warwick in the UK. He is an author and a passionate speaker on education and the creative energy of people. I stumbled across one of his TED Talks recently on how he would like to see the education system go through a revolution. In his talk, he touched on many things, but what stood out to me was his idea that tailoring education to the individual and making a student feel comfortable and supported will give them the confidence to perform better in school and make it all the way to graduation. I think that this applies to our Bronco Immersion idea because what it's really talking about is cultivating an inclusive and immersive learning environment in which students feel comfortable and supported, and I feel that Bronco Immersion would be a great way to achieve that on the Boise State campus.
Martha Nussbaum, Ernst Fred Distinguished Service Professor of Law and Ethics at the University of Chicago and author of Cultivating Humanity, A Classical Defense of Reform in Liberal Education, argues that truth and critical thinking are the bases for all transformation in higher education. Like George Leaf, Nussbaum stresses the need for deeper thinking in order to succeed in the world. Through Bronco Immersion, deeper, more meaningful conversation can occur. Students will become more comfortable with their advisors and professors and therefore be more willing to interact in advising meetings and classroom settings. Communities create opportunities for students to ask questions, learn about their environment, and expand upon previous knowledge.
The source that I found that relates to our big idea on finding your place in the community and education is called Some Thoughts Concerning Education by John Locke. And this reading really talked about some issues about education, like shame, rules, rewards, parental authority, and curiosity. And this article talked about how important a sound body and mind are, and every little thing matters in education, and they will all add up. And curiosity is probably the concern that relates most to our group's big idea. The more students seek out help from professors and other students, the more successful they're going to be. This also helps grow the community. Like, we are all naturally prideful people, and the article talks about making sure we use this characteristic to do good things that will benefit us and not harm us. When something new comes along, we typically ask questions, and as we grow older, we kind of stop asking questions. And I think we should continue to ask questions as college students to help everyone grow, because you might not know some other student might have the same question as you do. Also, by asking some questions, you're developing more of a relationship with whoever you are asking, and this is showing that you are caring about what you're learning and you're very invested in it as well.
In conclusion, we believe our big idea, known as Bronco Immersion, helps combine all of our ideas under one program that benefits Boise State students in finding a community to call their own, finding academic success and support throughout all their years being a Bronco, and increase the enjoyability of getting a degree.